Welcome to
No Fucking Filter. It's season 2, bitches. Hi guys, we recently had a live episode to kick off season 2 of the podcast and we're so excited to share it with you. We had such an amazing turnout. We're so thankful for everyone that came, but we couldn't have done it without our amazing sponsors.
Yeah, we'd like to say thank you to Town Hospitality, The Garret, Danny from Lovebirds, PickTime, JPEG Mini, Imagine, Camret Bags, Together We Co., RF Presets, The Gallery Studio, The Rock Studio, and Blue Oasis, who gave away the grand prize at our event.
Yes, everyone was so excited to win that trip. We also want to say a huge thank you to Shari and Mike, our special guests who came all the way to Calgary to spend the evening with us, and they were so awesome. We loved chatting with them, and we hope you guys love it too.
Yeah, enjoy, you guys.
Enjoy.
Well, welcome to the launch of season 2 of the NFF podcast.
It's been an incredible journey so far, and we are so excited to have all of you here with us tonight. This event is all about celebrating the past year and kicking off season 2.
Before we dive in, we want to take a moment to thank every single one of you guys. We know it's a big ask to get dressed up and leave your house on a Thursday in January, so we really appreciate it. This all wouldn't be possible without your support and our sponsors as well. A huge shout out to Danny Anderson and her team for hosting us here tonight.
And Amanda for feeding us.
Yes.
The past year has been a whirlwind, and your support, feedback, and love have been the fuel that's kept us going. From sharing episodes with your friends to sending us messages about your favorite episodes, it means everything. When we started this journey, we honestly had no idea if anyone would even listen, so thank you. To be here right now in this room with all of you is wild. I'm picturing all of you naked.
Season 2 is going to be bigger, better, and filled with surprises. We have incredible guests lined up, more behind-the-scene moments, and of course, plenty of laughs.
We have 2 very special guests joining us tonight, and we are so grateful they agreed to come and speak with us. We stalked them. They're a husband and wife photography team. They have won so many awards, we can't even list them all. They are hilarious, passionate, and 2 of the kindest humans ever. Everyone wants to be their friend, which is why we brought them here. So please welcome.
We are excited to introduce Shari Mike! Yay!
This is a lot of people.
Yeah.
Secretly hoping none of you showed up. Cool. What's happening?
Did I already screw up?
No.
You can't screw up.
Yes, you can.
Thank you guys for being here. How are you feeling?
Fucking
Deep
nervous.
breaths.
Okay, I was fine till you 2 were nervous, and now I'm like, oh god.
We're good now. We're good now.
Okay,
We're just having a conversation. No one's even here.
Don't block my light.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe a little cheers would take some nerves off. Cheers, everyone! Okay, should we get right into it? Are you guys ready to chat?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
I don't know how the live podcast works. But it's like,
We're just talking.
Yeah, right?
No one's
Do we
here.
talk to you guys too, or are we only talking to these guys?
You can talk to everyone.
Okay, I love it. Perfect.
I like the one mic thing though. This is great.
Yeah, you can just pass it off. Okay, we ask every guest we have on this question.
Okay.
What is the craziest thing that's ever happened to you at a wedding?
Whew. Oh
Starting
man.
off strong. Dang.
Yes. Craziest thing. So are we talking like craziest thing we've done, funniest thing? There's been a lot of things. Whew. Okay, you want to go first, Shari? Well, okay, wait. So, okay, I got Well, we
Just ate ice.
we're gonna ease into this. We had one wedding where this isn't crazy. This is more like just really funny. But the bride's brother surprised her. He was like deployed military, and he surprised her by being at the wedding. So she was blown away.
No, we said no crying.
Yeah, it was super sweet. No, just wait. It takes a different turn. So it was great, super fun to take photos of, emotional, everything. But the bride's brother also hadn't seen his girlfriend for a long time. So at one point, they disappeared. And we were at this, we were in this lodge in Whistler, and it was like a central room, and then there was like V rooms this way and this way. So coming out of the room, you could really like see all the rooms. And so people were eating, and it was supper and everything. And all of a sudden, someone's like, like that, right? And so you're kind of like, what happened? And you looked, and well, they were having a nice reunion in one of the rooms a few doors down, but they left the lights on and didn't shut the blinds. And so everyone at the wedding got to also witness that reunion happening. So that was it. So when they came back in, there was a bit of a interesting scene in the room.
What was everyone saying? Like, what was the buzz in the room?
And actually, everyone was I guess everyone was mostly just happy for them. So they got a really big cheers when they came back into the room. So yeah. So
It was kind of their wedding gift to everyone.
yeah, totally. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So that was a funny one. If people are like, yeah,
Okay,
what's so
wait,
funny? But
did you take a photo?
no comment.
Well, this past summer we had a wedding in the Okanagan, and it was beautiful, and it was like far away from the main kind of like hall. It was like off in a vineyard somewhere, and we're all getting ready for the wedding to happen, and
Yeah, like long, beautiful walk to the vineyard, like to the site, and the site was like over. The site was like
This
over.
is gonna happen a lot
Yeah, this
tonight.
weekend. Yeah, it was like over the lake, beautiful spot, but you had to kind of get there. Like it was probably a 10-minute walk to get down to the spot.
yeah.
And it was a vineyard. There was no coverage, just vines and lake and dirt and stuff. Anyways, go on.
Thank you, Mike. And the groom had made his way down, and the parents were starting to make their way down. And just as she was coming with her dogs, it like downpoured. Like the clouds opened, and it was like
like
Torrential.
It came over the hill. Like you couldn't see it. It was like sunny day, beautiful blue, and then the bride standing there, and like over the mountain is like blackness, like dark black cloud, and I've never been in rain like that.
no.
What did they do?
She laughed and kept walking.
We love her.
We did love her. It actually happened to the best couple because they just like rocked it. So they got married in downpour. They were like, everybody was sopping wet.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was really great.
Weather is crazy. Like,
But then at the end,
Yeah, the rainbow, guys.
as they kissed, rainbow right behind
true.
them. So.
It really happened.
love that.
Crowd goes wild.
Worth it.
That is so wonderful. But yeah, like weather's so unpredictable. It's all over the place. That's something people can't predict. So just make the best of it.
True.
You're Vancouverite, so to say it was like torrential.
Oh,
means
like it was like
it really
nothing
was.
we- Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Before we get into more grilling of them, I think that we need to just
You mean light conversation?
maybe. I want to hear. You had a story you wanted to
Oh
share.
yeah, I was gonna tell my story about how I first heard of Shari Mike.
Oh, geez.
To set the scene, I won't do it as good as Mike, but I think it was like 2011, maybe. Like everyone was orange in their photos, not you guys, but just like in general. I'm wearing like big hats.
Yeah.
And I was a legal assistant in my past life, so I was working away. My coworker that I shared a desk with was getting married, and you guys were his photographer. And he pulled up your website and showed me it, and I was like, I'm becoming a photographer.
Seriously?
Your photos were so amazing. I was
No
like,
way.
this is wild. His name was Richard. Shout out Richard and Sarah.
Richard and Sarah.
Yeah. So that's how I first heard of you and saw your photos, and I was like, what? These are wedding photos? This is so cool and amazing.
Oh, well, that's... Aw. Well,
Throwback.
Oh man, I'm gonna tell Richard that Richard did our contract for us actually too, so he's great. Yeah, we still talk to Richard.
Let's send him this episode.
Yeah, totally. So you want a good contract, you can call Richard, the redheaded guy from
Singer.
Vancouver. Yeah, he's also a very funny dude. He's a good
very
guy.
funny.
Yeah, we pranked them at their wedding actually. So okay, so we
Yes,
used to.
tell us another
Yeah,
story,
sorry.
please.
Okay. So we used to. I mean, back before wedding gifts were like registries or donate money to our honeymoon or that's it. Like people actually still did gift tables, right?
This was a long time.
This was a long time. We're aging ourselves here.
2011,
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So what we did, we got this really gaudy thing for our wedding as a wedding gift. It was like these weird hands twisting, embracing, holding a ring. It was just like. My auntie was a big hippie. It was weird. Anyways,
Do you still have
it? No. So I will tell you where that is. So what we did for Richard and Sarah's wedding, we used to do this a little bit as kind of like an extra thing. So for Richard and Sarah's wedding, we actually packed it up. We went and bought an old wedding card from like a secondhand store, and like. Congratulations on your wedding, didn't sign it, and packed it with this gaudy, awful hand gift. And when we got there, we left it on their gift table and just dropped it. But what we did before that, right when we got to the wedding, we took a photo of us holding it, sort of thing. Anyways, put it in there. So after, a couple months later, we were delivering their photos, and we delivered them in person to them just because we kind of connected with them good. And I was like, hey, did you guys we always wonder, did you get any really bad wedding gifts? And he's like, oh my God, yes, actually, that's funny, yes. And he goes and he pulls out this thing, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like, who would give you that? He's like, that must have been from like some auntie or something, right? He's like, we have no idea where it came from. It was just on our table. Anyways, so we're like, oh man, that's weird. Okay, watch a slideshow with them, have a drink. Okay, bye guys, see ya. I get a text like 15 minutes later, and he's like, you fuckers! Because they went through the thing, and at the end of it was the photo that we saw. Anyways, so Richard might have it still, I think, maybe, unless
Let's ask him.
Yeah, so we could ask him.
If
Anyways.
he does, we'll have him send a picture to the
Yeah,
pod.
totally. Anyways, so
Is this a Shari Mike signature move?
It was. We've done a lot of things over the years, fun kind of things to try to do something a little different, but yeah.
I hope Richard passed that on.
I hope so.
I hope it has just been a continuous
Yeah.
that
I hope
needs
it
to-
lives in
Yeah.
Australia right now
Who
with
knows,
somebody that
right?
yeah,
Who
it'd
knows
be
where
great.
it is? Or maybe it was too sentimental to him. He
Could
really
be.
kept
Yeah,
it.
he probably sleeps with it.
Okay, well,
might as well keep
amazing.
it.
We are now going to grill you. So, we want to know. Oh, I'm sorry. No scaring. I don't want to. Yeah,
This is a fun podcast.
Sorry, you're right.
This is fun. No fun.
So,
fun. No,
can you
so-
share what are some of the best things about working together, and also some maybe struggles of working together as a team?
Okay, you go first on this one.
I think that's a good idea.
Well, the best is because you hear quite often that this can be a lonely job because you work by yourself. So I will say it's always been nice to have just that other person all the time. Mike and I work really well together. We always say we're the right kind of different. So our personalities work well together, our strengths, weaknesses, all that stuff. And so yeah, it's just nice having this guy around. He's also an extrovert and I'm an introvert. So taking him to weddings is literally the best thing. I don't have to talk to anybody. He can just do all the talking.
I don't even actually take any photos.
No, he doesn't.
Sure doesn't even put cards in my cameras. It's
just
a
brings
ruse.
the vibes.
It's a ruse. What did you say in the card though? Best part? Afternoon delight. That's a perk. Too much? Sorry. She said
filter.
it. She said it.
There's no filter. You're allowed.
She said it.
Edit this out here, right?
Sure, we'll see. This might bring in the downloads.
It's funny, like, I would say, though, some of the, like, best parts about it also kind of translate into some of the trickiest parts. Like, we have a daughter, she's 7, and so running a business with a kid, there's some perks because we're both there for a lot of stuff, but also when we have to go to a wedding or if we're going on a trip.
In Calgary when your poor daughter's sick at home.
In Calgary when we get a call and our daughter's home sick.
Shout out to these guys. Their daughter's at home sick and they still came. That's how much we love them.
Yeah. So that side of it, it's kind of like the double-edged sword because we both are doing this. Well, then we don't have one person at home to watch our kid, or one person who works another job that you get benefits from, or different kinds of things like that, right? So so it's really like it's really a give and take. It is great because we've been lucky to be able to shoot some destinations and stuff like that. So when we travel for work, we're together. So it really takes that experience away from something that separates us from each other to like something we can live and experience together. And that was what was really fun with Augie initially when she was little, and we could just wear her while we went to shoots and stuff like that. It was great. It's a little trickier now that she's 7, but she would still, she's getting a little heavier, but yeah. So, yeah.
Well, we love that. You guys it's obviously working, this balance.
Yeah, I think it works for the most. I think the biggest thing, like if it's like, we're thinking, like it's not for everybody for sure. And I think the biggest thing in learning is just like learning what each of us are good at or not good at or love and don't love, and then just kind of pushing each other in that as opposed to like trying to step on each other's toes. Like we definitely don't, and you run into, you don't want to micromanage each other because that's just never good in a relationship. So, like learning, but we're both passionate about our business. So you care about your business. So really learning like, okay, you're good at this, go. And I'm not going to worry about it. I'm good at this, go, and I'm not going to worry about it. So, and then just really respecting each other's space and honoring those kind of jobs in it, and then coming together for things that work together. And yeah, I would say maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Does that sound good? Okay.
Sounds great.
Yeah. I don't know. It's working, sort of.
Now, we didn't warn you guys about this question because we wanted to keep you on your toes, but Shari, what's your pet peeve about Mike? Mike, what's your pet peeve about Shari?
That's rude. What's my pet peeve?
I'm sure you got a few.
Oh God.
We don't want to be responsible for breaking up Shari and Mike on this podcast, so go lightly.
Mike gets really so
Here it goes.
he gets like a hobby and then he goes all in.
Still sounds positive to me.
Yeah,
but
no, it's maybe, it's kind of a pet peeve actually. Lego was during the pandemic was the thing.
I think she's holding back. Just kidding.
And so we had many Amazon packages landing on our tour, and I'd be like, is that more Lego? Yeah, that's what he kept telling me. Now our basement is full of Lego. And then now recently it's board games. He's really
What's your favorite board game?
Oh gosh, you opened up a can of worms there.
Just one.
I have one in my pocket. And then I have another one to give away.
We did actually not plan this. This was not.
This is a surprise to us.
When I left, I was like, maybe I'll bring a game and there'll be an opportunity. I'm sure to give it away. So.
What a mystery this is. There's 2 cartoon kind of scary rabbits.
So
Wait,
funny.
has anyone in the crowd heard of the Mind Extreme before?
The Mind? Does anyone know The Mind? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so someone will get that at some point. It's great. Yeah. It's really great. You just got to put the cards in order. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm confused.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if I told you my favorite game, you'd be like, "What?" Okay. Lost Ruins of Arnak. Anyone know that one? Okay, yeah. It's a whole thing. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, that's my pet peeve. Shari won't play board games with me.
There we go.
That's not true. I do.
You try. Yeah, you try.
We're gonna get kind of into business stuff. So, is there something that you think catapulted you and your business to the point you are now, or like a game changer for your business? Not sure. Thinking.
I don't know if it's like one thing. I just feel like it's been a lot of little things over the years, and we've been doing this a very long time. So, like, for example, like years ago, we posted a dress from, what is that company? Grace Loves Lace? I don't know, something like that. And this was back when like Instagram
If
actually
they want to sponsor
like.
us, they can.
Perfect.
Every episode is like perfect. A company comes up and Lisa's like, if you want to sponsor us.
But they reposted it, and like, so we had posted it, I don't remember what time, but the next morning, like, our Instagram following had grown like so much. This was back when Instagram was actually really great.
When the algorithm made sense.
RIP. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So like that was for the following of our Instagram. I would say like that was a really big one for us. One of our goals one year was to like go to as many conferences as we could just to get connected in with outside of just like the Vancouver wedding industry, but just get connected in beyond that. And we met so many people. It opened up a lot of opportunities for us. And so that was like a big one for us too. I don't know.
It was never, it's kind of just been, I mean, you can think of those like big points, like where you saw a big shift or something change. And I think just the stabilizing factors is we've always just really wanted to put out good work, and always tried to push ourselves to be growing and putting out better work, and everything else is just kind of fallen around that as far as opportunities go. Like Shari won a contest to get a wedding photo booth when we first were starting our business in Vancouver, so that boosted us there. I danced at a wedding one time, which I never thought would be a thing, but then that ended up, we connected really good with vendors in Vancouver because of that, and stood out as like, all of a sudden wedding planners were recommending us as like the fun photographer. So it's like, oh, you got like a boring hotel wedding, I'm not going to recommend. Oh, you got a fun kind of thing. These Shari and Mike, these guys are new to town. We're like,
They will
okay,
dance
sweet.
at your
Yeah,
wedding.
they will dance. They will dance.
One will dance.
Shari will not.
Yeah. A little country music on there, you might get down. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Maybe later.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's kind of just been like those points. Like Shari did a workshop with Fair, which really blew our mind with like how like lighting and seeing lighting differently, which then our work evolved from there, and we noticed a big shift there. So it's kind of just been these points along the way, but we've always just tried to focus on creating better work and just trying to be good people and be kind people that are fun and enjoy life. So I'd say that's probably the foundation of it, but then trying, hope so. Yeah.
Okay, well, coming from a super fan, you have kind of reached almost like celebrity status with all these conferences and stuff. Does that feel weird when people are recruiting you?
I'm like Shari from a town of 100 people.
When you go home, are people like, Shari Mike, are you guys?
No. Yeah.
If you were on the street, they would. Yeah.
No, I would say it. I'd be like, did everyone see Shari Mike in town?
Yeah, it's just we just feel really lucky because we love this industry so much and and it's because of the people in it. So we've got some cool opportunities, but it always just rounds out to being able to like connect again with people, and we're thankful for those opportunities. I mean, really, when we get down and think about it, it's just the ability to do stuff like this so we can hang out with you guys and connect here like this. Most of our like closest relationships have been thanks to this industry and everything like that. So if our status adds to that or whatever, if it's bringing cool people into our lives and everything, great. But yeah, it's I guess if that
Sherry, you mentioned community before, and I feel like it is so huge to have. And like this type of thing, getting together, meet some new people, talk to someone you've never met. Like this is how we all connect
Emerge
together.
from your editing cave.
Yes, yes. We don't need to live there. We need to live here with
Yes.
each other.
Yes.
And, well, okay, yeah, we
Yes.
do need to go edit. That's true. My clients are waiting right now. Okay.
Hopefully they're not watching this.
No. Well, travel is a huge part of your guys' business. Where is the coolest place that work has taken you?
Man, I feel like one of the coolest trips we got to do was we were hired to do an elopement with a couple from Toronto, and they took us we got to do a tour around Southeast Asia with them. We did shoots in 4 different places, I think. It was a good thing we really liked them because that would have been very awkward.
Yeah, how long was that?
We went for
It's like 10 days,
I think so.
Yeah, you had
Yeah.
to like them for sure.
Yeah, so we actually ended up being really good friends with them. So,
So good.
I would say that was, looking back, I'm like, that's really cool. That's
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, we got to do, we did their wedding photos in, Angkor Wat, and we managed to luck out because we were like, well, let's go there. Everyone watches the sunrise at the main temple, so we went into one of the temples, kind of off the path of tourists, and we had the whole thing to ourselves to do photos. So, pretty cool. And then we went to the Sapa region, North Vietnam, with them. I ended up officiating their wedding because they hated their first one because their first one they were like, well, we don't know what we're supposed to do, so they booked an elopement package in Thailand, and it was weird. They were playing Linkin Park while she was walking up the aisle.
It was
That's a choice.
Yeah.
In the end, it doesn't. I'm like, that's not a real good wedding song. Okay. So they called that their unwedding, and then we did the shoot, and then we kind of were when we got to the north and we were at a homestay, and Lolly was like, this is what I dreamed of. This is where I wanted to get married. And so we were like, well, let's do it. So, they weren't officially getting married there anyways, they had to do it legally back in Toronto. So I officiated, and we went and did photos there, and that's their tattooed wedding date that day, not the other one in Thailand. So yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Not only will you dance at their wedding, you'll officiate.
Yeah, what do you need? I'm here for you. I got you. What do you need? Look at Cole. Come on, no.
Dance battle later.
I would say one of the other really cool ones for us was my best friend got married, and we were they were originally, they just had people all over Western Canada, so they were living in Vancouver but lived in Edmonton but grew up in Medicine Hat. And they weren't going to get married, and they decided to, but they really felt bad about getting everyone to come to their wedding. So they decided they were going to do a wedding road trip. So they, they had with their family, they did a small wedding in Whitecliff Park in Vancouver, just small ceremony and lunch. And then they had a party the next day in Vancouver, and then got in a VW camper van, drove across the Rockies to Edmonton, up through Jasper and then to Edmonton, had a wedding in Edmonton, and then made their way down to Medicine Hat and had another one with their close family and old friends in Medicine Hat. But we were the only ones that got to go to everything because Curtis was I want you guys there for it all. But so we took photos, so we got to do photos, but we also got to travel and do the whole thing with them. So we camped with them along the way through the Rockies, spent a few days camping. It's
Were you
really
in the
cool
van
experience.
with
Yeah.
Whoa. So you really love them too.
And we found out we were pregnant on that trip. So it was super special. No.
In the camper van with them? No.
True.
Afternoon delight. We were sitting on the curb in Red Deer at the donut mill, sitting on the curb, and come on.
If you want to sponsor us.
And last leg of the trip, on our way down to Medicine Hat, we're sitting there having some curb dogs and stuff, and Sherry's we're blah blah blah, and Sherry's I think I'm pregnant, and we're Are you kidding? Anyways, yeah, so then we got to Medicine Hat, and Curtis was like, so just a little thing, like, yeah, we went in the camper. I grew up with Curtis. We were roommates. We've like, yeah, best friend.
They
like
were roommates.
pretty much family. Yeah. So,
No one's gonna get that. I'm just okay. Thank you.
So then Curtis, like before their last wedding in Medicine Hat, he goes out in the morning, he gets a pregnancy test, and he made Shari take it before they would do their last wedding. He's like, no. So we had this moment. They were ready, like we were in the room before they walked down, like for their last wedding, and then yeah, Shari was like, looked at the test, pregnant. We had a big cry together, came down, and then of course their family all there was like, oh look, they're so emotional, but they were emotional because Augie was coming. So yeah, anyways, yeah, so that was cool. That whole thing's a pretty amazing experience for sure. So yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's such a wild story too. I can't wait for you to tell Augie about it. You mentioned speaking at conferences or going to a lot of conferences. How did that kind of start? And I feel like I already know this answer, but is public speaking something you enjoy?
Let's talk about it. I hate it. Just joking. I'm learning to like it.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
She's so good at it though.
Thanks. Yeah, it's something Mike, obviously, he loves to talk. It's something Mike has always wanted to do, and I have been the one he's had to like pull into it. It is really good learning, and I do grow a lot from doing this all the time, getting myself out of my comfort zone. And I feel like our first opportunity was speaking at the Canada Photo Convention in Toronto.
Also RIP?
Yeah. Oh, big time RIP.
Big
Yeah.
time.
That was a thing.
Yeah, that was really, we won't go into that one.
That's a different story altogether. Some of you may know about. Anyway.
So that's where it started. I don't really know how we got started into speaking.
I think the big thing actually, it was probably really kind of took off with probably two things. One thing that we tried to do when we first, we're like into it, we're like, let's enter some contests. This could be cool. Enter Jubug, and we, got lucky and got some photos selected. So then you kind of get shared on some bigger, more worldwide things. So your name gets out there a little bit. At the time, blogs were more popular, so we were featured on some blogs. So you just kind of getting your name out there. But I would say the biggest thing was that year we decided that we were really going to go to all the conferences and meet a lot of people. So we just met so many people in the industry that, someone asked Dan to speak, he can't, but he's like, I know these guys and they're in Canada. So, like things like that. So I think, again, through connection, through human connection kind of is what got us into it, I think. Yeah.
Well, Shari, you said you're not good at it, but I've heard you speak, I don't know, a few times, a couple of different arcs. I think I've cried every single time. So that means you're great at it.
Shari will also make comments about how bad of a writer she is. And I don't know if you guys have ever read anything that she writes. I'm like, you're ridiculous. So, yeah.
You're always your own worst critic.
It's true.
But look at this room full of people that showed up. No, they're
actually here for Todd's trip.
It's true.
They're here for the trip.
Do I have a chance to learn?
We need to put you in there. Todd, can you do a hookup here? No.
Yeah. I'll trade you for a board game.
So now that you have your daughter, has your idea of success changed? You kind of spoke on this at ARC, and it really touched me. So I was like, I need to ask this because everyone needs to hear this. So it's just beautiful.
Hi. Very much so. I think there's a lot of things that happen in life that really changes perspective on things. And having Augie was definitely a big one for us. It's taken us a while to change, and which is partially why we made a huge life decision this year. for her, and then just also just like the realization that life is just really short, and just a reevaluation of life and what's important and prioritizing those things. And so, yeah, I feel like having Augie just really changed everything. For me personally, well, I'm assuming for you too. I'm sure you'll tell them. Yeah, so success is, for us, it was chasing our business and building it and hustling and doing all that stuff. And then she comes along and you're like, do I really want to do all that?
Yeah.
And so
changes.
it really does change everything. So yeah, and just realizing like she's 7 and it's really, you only have a few more years where she's like that little kid.
Yeah.
And I want to do more with her, be less in my editing cave and more with her. So yeah, it really has changed everything.
Yeah, I think it even like, and it even maybe changed like our why too. Like, we would still like, you're still doing some of the same things, but your maybe motivation has changed a little bit for why you're doing it. You know, like you go from, you know, wanting to grow your business or make more money or gain cool opportunities to like, you want to show your kid that they can do big things and maybe hopefully inspire them, or, you know, like for Shari, see a strong woman just going for it and like killing it. And so, you know, so sometimes you're still doing some of the same things, but the motivation or the why behind it, I think that was a big change for us too, for sure. We still love what we do. Like we probably love it more because, you know, we see people different. We see relationships different too. We look at, I don't watch every parent dance now, and I'm like, man, it hits different, right? So it's kind of changed even the way we see and document and everything like that. And so that sort of shift, even in our work, I think has been something too. And yeah, but the big thing is time is the biggest thing. So. We want more of that, so we're just figuring out how to do it because work-life balance.
It doesn't exist.
No. Yeah, if anyone's trying to sell you a thing on achieving work-life balance, just throw that in the garbage. That's not, it's,
It's a lie.
You think you have it down, and then a week goes by, and you're like, "Whoa, yeah, no, lost that. Oh, maybe I'm gonna work better next week. Nope,
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Because we change
it's a
and we
constant
evolve, and life
thing,
changes,
yeah.
and different things get thrown at you, and you never know, right? So,
Yeah.
So you kind of touched on how some parts are like, you know, life's maybe a little stickier than other times. How do you guys stay inspired during those rough patches, whether it's a rough patch in business or something tough's maybe going on in your personal life? How do you keep that like fire for your business and taking photos and grinding away?
Anybody got an answer for this?
If anyone knows. No, it's really quiet.
I think we all are struggling with this.
board games.
The mind.
No, I would say like it's definitely, everybody's different, right? I think the biggest thing is like going like this and really trying to sit back and be like, what did you say, Shari? Like you had a good term, I can't remember, but like what do we need here? Because I think the only way.
What feeds your soul?
Yeah.
Hey, snaps.
Yes. What feeds your soul? Because if you're fed, then you know, like how can you give and how can you give and how can you create if you're empty, right? You have to have something to give to be able to give and create and stuff. So what is it that feeds your soul? Is that going out and grabbing an analog camera, or is that like traveling, or is that knitting or doing pottery, or is that mountain biking or hiking, or is it taking photos of babies or puppies, like whatever that looks like. I don't think it's more like what works for you, you know? So Shari and I are very different. Like there's certain things we notice when if we're kind of feeling a little bit like, the biggest thing is to just look and prioritize maybe us a little bit and what we need. That looks different for us. For me, it is to go out and hang out with some people and maybe play some board games or something. Shari's like have some quiet and that sort, you know, or whatever. I don't know. Do you ever? She doesn't really stop editing, so I'm not sure if Shari's figured that out. Sometimes maybe it is editing. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, weird. Super weird.
And that's why your business works.
Yes, totally. You know, but whatever it is, do that. And then that's when we notice. So like for us, a big thing was traveling. And we really noticed that's why we love to travel so much, because we would feel inspired and excited again as we were like traveling and seeing new places and seeing new things. Light is a big one for us too. The way light falls, we always catch ourselves which usually goes hand in hand with traveling, seeing some light falling and usually wishing like, I wish we had a couple right now and want to put them in this, like, you know, so that was a very...
And then we had Augie. She became our subject.
Yeah.
She's the best model.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, documenting our family is big. So yeah, ultimately, you know, could say a few things, but ultimately it's just what feeds your soul.
Just nailing it.
Yeah.
Okay, do you guys have any big 2025 goals that you'd like to share? No pressure.
So 2025 is we're calling it our reset year. So I wouldn't say we actually have any big goals.
That is a goal in itself.
Yeah, it's actually, our goal is to slow the fuck down. Thank you. So we moved to a retirement town, and I'm playing canasta with my neighbors.
So you do love board games.
She does.
I like hanging with older ladies, and drinking wine, and playing canasta. I don't even think we've made a goal list this year, because our main goal is just to slow down. And so, 2025, we're like, it's our sabbatical. It's our dreaming again. It's figuring out what else we love outside of this industry. Although we love this industry, we're not leaving. But what do we love outside of it? I'm really excited to know who Shari is.
Yes.
Like, I really am so excited. So
Sometimes you need a year.
Yeah.
You don't need to have any, you just live that year just figuring things out and stepping back, but also like stepping back in order to jump full in the next. Oh my God,
That's literally what we keep saying.
I'm going to.
It's a step back so that we actually can keep going forward.
Yeah.
So for us,
that's beautiful.
So we're actually like really excited about this year. For probably 15 years, we've shot around 40-ish weddings a year, and this year we're shooting 12.
Yes. Reset year is happening.
It's just like a dream.
Yeah.
Augie's very excited to also hang out with us more.
Yeah.
So
that is so sweet.
So yeah.
Yeah, and like I think like along with that, one thing for me is like I want to go more analog. Like you know, so we got, for instance, like we didn't get a Bluetooth speaker. We got a record player and starting a record collection.
Yes.
You know, we make coffee slower. We like no Nespressos here. We got a wood-fired hot tub. So you know, so I'm out chopping wood to get that going. I got a charcoal barbecue, not a gas grill.
After party
you know,
at Shari Mike's house.
yeah. So we're trying to just be like slower and more intentional as well with life. And all that sort of thing. So yeah.
And when you slow down, you're able to like play with these other things, right? You're making space and time for them, which is so
absolutely
important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we all know we get so wrapped up in our work and our business, and it's
becomes us, basically.
Yeah. And you know what, like, it's great, like, when it's time to hustle and go for it, it's great. Like, we had a blast, like hustling and doing the Vancouver fast life, and it was great, and it was awesome until it wasn't, you know. And so at that point we realized we just needed to do a little pivot and make a, you know, like, just
Constantly reevaluating, right?
pivot. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, totally.
every year you can be like, okay, that was awesome, but does that service me going forward? Kind of thing, yeah.
I think we kind of mentioned this at ARC, like, we forgot to, we had a definition of what success is, but we forgot to redefine what success was for us. And so we were trying to pursue our previous view of what success was for our lives, because we're big advocates on, like, there's no blanket on what success looks like. You need to know what success is for you, set that, and then you can go after it, because your view of, if you try to do a blanket view of success, you're going to have a lot of unsatisfying experiences in life, because what works for one person doesn't work for another person. All of us are different. All of us are in different life circumstances. You know, so we did, and it was great, and we were rolling, and then we kind of just got caught up and forgot to redefine that success a few years back, and then we were kind of just in a place where we almost just kind of got forced to. So yeah,
It's almost like if you don't keep reevaluating and taking note of all those things, your business will take over everything. I mean, it is such a huge part of our life, and if you don't keep a handle on it, I mean, it's good, we want it to keep growing, but it almost like eats you if you don't take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or just like when you work yourself too hard, your body will just make you stop. Your business will just make you stop, right? Because like, if you're at your peaking point where you can't deliver or can't keep up, your business is going to just stop you, right? So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we can't wait to see how you emerge after this break.
Miranda, I'm coming back to Instagram, don't worry, okay?
That was one of our questions, actually, but we're not going to go. We were going to say, how do you keep succeeding without being on Instagram? But we thought you might feel judged, so we're not going to ask, because you're crushing it. We said this would kind of be like blacking out, and time would go by so fast, and it has. Yeah.
Time.
We want to give you a hug. Thank you so much